Can we start?
Yeah, I think so. There's 51 of us here.
So your group is 70 student. So we have another 20 student. Please ask your friends to join the session. Right, okay. Before we start with our lesson, I just want to get your feedback and information from you regarding the test 1 date. Is there any clashes issue if we propose the date is on 5th February,
5th February, what time, madam?
8:30 p.m. night.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Shouldn't be a problem for you. And how about the rest? Do you have any class on that date?
For regular classes, no. The test is 2 hours, right?
1 hour only.
1 hour.
15 minutes. 15 minutes we allocate for the submission.
8:30 to 9:45. Yeah, there shouldn't be anything there, madam.
Yeah, right. So it's a free, So I'm going to propose the date and time in with other lecturer so that they can ask their group. Okay, so now we lock for the 5th Friday, Friday, this coming Friday, 8:30 p.m.
How is the test format, madam?
The test is going to have the MCQ, and then also having the flowchart or pseudocode. I'm not sure whether we ask you about the flowchart or pseudocode or both, but I think only one. And then a simple program.
The program using the actual Python or?
The Python, using
I
the
see.
Python language.
Okay.
So
How many MCQs are there?
I'm not so sure that because we're still in discussion on how many on the MCQ, because MCQ is quite easy to get the answer, right? So don't know, we have to balance with the other section, which I mentioned just now, the flowchart or pseudocode, and the part C is Python program, so need to balance with the time. So
I
still in
see.
discussion, but the format will be there's going to have a three section. Okay, section A is on the MCQ or MCQ lah. And then number 2 will be the algorithm, and then section 3 will be the program. Eight thirty. Right. 30. Why cannot? Okay, so all right. Okay, we can start now. Okay, let's before we continue with our new lesson, so let's recap what you have learned. Previously, you have learned about the sequential, and when we are saying about sequential, is referring to the flow of the program, which by default. So by default, the flow of the program will go on on what way? Hello,
Like, for example, in the program you will have a condition, then a choice, then based on a condition it will go down a certain sequence.
certain sequence. So by default, what is the sequence?
What do you like this?
By default,
From start to end,
from the start to end. So the flow is coming from
up to bottom.
up to bottom. Yeah, up to bottom, from the top to the down. Okay, so that is by default. And then when after that, when we have in the selection, it's going to have lights going up. Okay, by default, the compiler will read line by line. So that is what we're saying as a from the top to bottom. Okay, and then we also have learned about the arithmetic. Okay, so arithmetic is about calculation, is directly referring to the precedence of calculation operation. So whatever that you have learned in mathematics is similar in programming. And also you also learn about the relative operator, where when you want to combine between two condition and more, you make use of the relative operator, which is on the and or that one is a logical operator, and or and not or, right? Okay, not. Okay, and then okay, now for today lesson, we're going to learn about the selection. Okay, what you have learned in previous lesson is a level 1. We can see it as a level 1. You have know about variable, you have know about the input output, that is a fundamental, and then you already know the sequence. The sequence must be from the top to the down, and then now is a second phase, which is a selection. So, okay, why we need a selection? Just intelligent predict.
So that the program can adapt to different conditions.
Okay, can adapt to different conditions. So means that in simplest said, that it can enable the program to make a decision for you based on the condition that we are provided to the compiler. Alright. Okay, so in this topic, we expect you to grasp the basic concept of a selection structure. So when we are saying about selection structure, what is a shape that is a represent the selection in a flowchart class?
Diamond shape.
Okay, good. A diamond shape. And then what is a statement that we put inside the diamond shape?
The variable.
What again?
The condition.
Yeah, correct. The condition. So whatever that we want to make a decision is represent using the condition, and then basically the condition will produce true and false. Okay, that is a basic concept. And then by having that concept on how to apply that structure, the concept using the programming language. In programming language using the Python, we do have the if else, we do have multiple if, and we also using having the nested if. Okay, so as I mentioned, when we are saying about the control structure having 3: sequence, selection, repetition. You have go through with the sequence, and now you are you're going to know about the selection. And this selection is actually enable you to give the instruction whether on how to into a single logical unit with one entry point and one exit point. Okay, that is what we call as a selection. Okay, then when we are saying about the selection, we going to having and we going to make use of the control structure. Okay, on how to do the control structure. Control structure is referring to the condition. Okay, in order to make a condition, we need to use the control structure. And then if you look at on the slide, we having how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of control structure. Okay. 6 of operator, 6 of relational operator in the control structure. Okay, number 1, if we want to compare between the variables A, is it variables A is equals to variable B, so the symbol is using the double equal. Okay, if not equal, so using the exclamation equal. And we also having less than or equals to, greater than or equal to. Okay, from the number 3 up until number 6 is based on the numerical. Okay, when we want to compare to the numerical value. Alright, okay, so we go for the logical operator of AND. So what do you know about AND, class?
For the AND keyword, only if both of the values are true, then only it will come out as true. Anything else, it will come out as false.
Okay, so yes, so you need all the condition to be true in order for you to get the true results. Otherwise, you're going to get the false. Okay, so basically on how the compiler is actually reading the codes. Okay, is a sequential flow from the top to the down. Okay, for example, here line number 1 is A equals to 200. Okay, here we are declaring and also assigning the value. Automatically we know that A is a integer. Okay, same goes to B. Okay, B is a 33, C is a 500. Okay, and then having the condition to be evaluated. Okay, if, and then we do have a two condition, and then it being combined using the AND. Okay, we know that when we having the AND, all the condition must be true in order to get the result of true. Okay, so what is the if structure? Whatever after you use the if and then followed by the condition, okay, you need to having the colon over there. So the statement after the colon that is having the indentation is represent as a true statement. Okay, A is more than B. Is it A is more than B? Evaluate, class. Is it A is more than B?
Yes.
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 200 is more than 30. Yes, true. Okay, how about the second condition?
Yes, C is more than A as well.
Okay, so true and true becoming?
Statement is true. Conditions
Okay,
is true.
so is a true. So automatically the compiler will go to the statements that belongs to the true statement. In here, the statements that belong to the true statement is prime birth condition are true. Okay, how about if the condition is true and false? So it will display what?
False.
Okay, then it will display what?
Both both conditions are not true because because it's and, right?
Yeah, but referring to this statement, okay, let's say, okay, just for your imagination, here, instead of A, yeah, this one is condition is both is true. Okay, how about if the condition is the first condition is true and then the second condition is false? So what's the output will be displayed?
The first condition is false, but for the second condition is true.
So what is the statement that going to be displayed based on the coding over there? Yeah, it will not display anything because there's no else statement over there, right? So here is only one alternative. Is only tested on the true conditions, on this condition, and having the true alternative. There's no else alternative. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so basically, when we are saying about AND, as mentioned by your friends just now, all the condition need to be true in order for you to get the result in true. And then once you get false, automatically it's going to give you the result of false. Got it?
Yes.
Anything that you want me
Yes.
to clarify? No, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everything is clear. Good. Alright, okay. Let's trace this. Age is equals to 24. Gender equals to F. If age is more than 18 and then gender equals to F, then it's going to print this one. So what is the answer based on the selection condition over there?
It will display she is an adult, you may marry her.
Okay, and then how about if we change the gender on the line number 2 to be M? So what is going to be
It
displayed?
will not display anything.
Yeah, it will not display anything because based on this particular coding, is only provide you the true alternative. There's no false alternative over there. Alright. So okay, so next is using the logical operator of OR. So when we are saying about the OR, what is the rule of thumb of the OR class?
For or, as long as one of the value is true, then it will always come out as true. Only if both false, it will be false.
Okay, yes, correct. So uh, once you get is a true, so it becoming true. We are saying about is a 100 condition. Okay, so that's why we come up with that particular summary. Okay, whenever you got the condition to be true, so automatically it's going to be true. Okay, and then unless all the condition is false, so you're going to get the false answer. Alright, okay, so is actually represent the word over there. At least one of the condition is true. Okay. Alright, okay. And then the next logical operator is not. Okay, not is what? Not is a opposite value of the condition. Okay, for of the condition. Yeah, okay. So for example, x equals to false, and then when you want to print not x, is going to print you as a true. Okay, let's say if x equals to true, so what is going to be output display?
False.
Okay, false is a against value. Okay, any question? No. All right. Okay, so what you have learned previously, the logical operator is going to be used, okay, in the selection control structure. When we are saying about selection control structure, when we are saying about the control selection control structure, we are referring to the if statement. Okay, if statement. So if statement is actually is represent the diamond shape. Okay, and then so if statement is using the if. Okay, look at on the if keyword, is it in capital or small letter?
Small letter.
Okay, make sure that if you are using to the keyword of if, it must be in a small letter. And then the second point is that the elif keyword is a Python way of saying if the previous condition were not true, then try this condition. So we are having the elif to having the multiple alternative, multiple condition to be tested. So elif is actually combination between else if. Okay, so the first condition is using if, and then if you have multiple condition to be tested, the started with the second condition, you need to use the keyword of elif. Okay, and then the last one is else. Else keyword catch anything that is not caught by the precedence condition. For example, for the first condition, x equals to 1, and then you doesn't want it to be that. Okay, you have another condition to be tested. Okay, is it x equals to 20 or not also? Is it x equals to 100 or not also? And if not, everything is not, then it's going to go to the else. Okay, so basically else is catching anything that is not being meet the requirement of the other precedence conditions. Okay, in using the control structure of if, so we are really emphasize on the indentation. Why? Because by having the indentation is going to define the scope in the code. Okay, so make sure that you are applying the indentation. Okay, usually in the other programming subject, other programming language, we are using the curly bracket, but in Python we are really relies on the indentation. Okay, let's look at on the control structure. Okay, when we are saying about the control structure, when we are saying about the control structure, okay, basically is going to have a 3 different situation. Number 1, we only provide one alternative. If that is a true, based on the condition, if true, then it will be happen. If not true, we doesn't put anything. It's just like what we have learned previously. For this particular condition, is only having the true condition, the true alternative. Okay, same goes to previous one. From this particular condition, we only provide one alternative. Okay, this is what we call as a single alternative. Okay, and then after that, okay, so for example, prompt and get score. Okay, prompt and get score in this particular event, what is the variable?
The variable is the score.
Okay, good. The variable is a score, and then the action is actually prompt and get, means that the compiler is giving the instruction to give the to display, and then the user will input something, and then the input will be stored inside the score. Okay, and then score here, then after that we evaluate the value inside the score. Is it score is less than 4? Okay, look at this. If you are using the selection, we are really on the diagram, we are really depends on the label over there. Okay, false and true. Okay, false and true. Okay, so make sure that in your diagram you have in the label. Okay, the true line is here, represent the true statement. So if true, then display see your lecturer. If false, nothing. You're going to skip the display over there. Okay, so this one is a if statement with one alternative. Okay, understand?
Yes, understand.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, and then let's look at on the syntax. Okay, so when you're having the syntax, look at this. What you can see over there from the syntax and example. Having using for the if statement, must using the small letter. Okay, remember small letter, and then followed by the condition. After the condition, you have to provide the semicolon, provide the colon over there, and then after that, look at on the indentation. Okay, statement true. Statement true means that this statement is depends on the condition over there. Okay, we know that the condition, the statements of this is true based on this condition. Okay, this is one way of writing the if statement. Okay. Okay, so this is the statements that belongs for the true condition, Okay, this is one way to write, and another way it can be also be written in blue color of font over there. If condition and then colon statements true. So, but basically because you are very the beginner, so my suggestion is you apply the syntax using the red color of font because it's much more readable. Okay, in terms of the readability is much more higher in a red color of font over there. Okay, so for example, okay, based on this diagram, okay, we do the coding. If score is less than 40, and then look at this, having the colon, and then print see your lecturer. Okay, print see your lecturer. See your lecturer is a statement to be displayed, and then look at on the indentation. they have one tag indentation over there. You also can write in the style of writing can be applied also in the blue font of color over there. But my recommendation, you apply using the red color style. Alright, okay. So condition can be single or multiple condition. Okay, for what is the meaning by the multiple condition means that inside here, okay, instead only one condition, you also can have in multiple condition. Multiple condition can be combined using or, and, not over there. Okay. And for the third statement over there, can be single statement or compound, multiple statement. So what is a single statement? What is a compound or multiple statement? Here, only one statement, right? So this is what we call as a single statement. Or if they have a multiple statement that belongs to the true condition, so we call that one as a compound statement. Okay, compound statement consists more than one statement that belong to the true condition. Right? Okay, is there any question?
No, madam, I don't think so.
Okay. Now, okay, next is we go for the two alternative. Okay, two alternative, and then here, as usual, start supposedly having the declare variable, right? And then prompt and get score. Okay, so we do have the variable of score over there, and then we having the validation. Okay, so validation, you provide two alternative. If that is a true, so display pass. If that is a false, display fail. So what is the difference between this and this?
Wait, I can
This?
see.
False statement displays fail.
Okay, so in your diagram, you are providing the false statement. Okay, previously, you only provide for the true statement. Okay, because you are providing the false statement, that is what we call as a two alternative. Means that having true and having false. Then on how to translating this diagram, okay, this diagram that having two alternative in Python language. Okay, look at this. If a conditions, okay, you having the condition is based on the diagram over there, is the text inside the diamond shape. Score is more and equals to 40. And then you're having the true statement. The true statement, look at on the flow over there, true, and you want to display pass. So in a Python program, so after the condition colon, then you have to follow the true statement. True statement, if you look at on the example, having the indentation that to represent that this coding is belongs to the true statement of that previous particular condition. Print pass. Else, and then else is represent the false condition, the false line. The false line, okay, we just put else over there, else, and then statement. The statement that is belong to the else is display fail. So look at on the example, x need to have the colon. If you didn't put the colon over there, what is going to be the error? What's error that's going to be displayed?
Syntax error.
Yes, correct. So syntax error. So avoid the syntax error. So put the colon over there, else colon, and then look at this, having the indentation, print fail. So means that print fail is belongs to the else condition. Okay, other than this way, okay, we also having the another way of written in if else with two statement. Look at on the blue font color over there, statement, if condition, else statement. So print pass if score is more and equals to 40, else print fail. Okay, this is also the correct syntax, but as I mentioned, I am prefer you to use the style of in the red color, much more readable. In terms of the readability is higher. Sekejap Alright. Next is okay. We have talked about the two alternative. Now we're going to talk with about the multiple alternative. Sometimes, okay, we want to evaluate based on different multiple condition. Okay, for example here, we prompt and get the score, and then the first condition that we evaluate, is it score is more and equals to 80? If true, then we're going to display distinction. Okay, let's say it's not true, then we have another condition to be tested. Is it score is more and equals to 40? If yes, okay, look at on the true line, is display pass. If not, is going to display fail. So what is going to be, okay, can you explain to me according to this diagram how the flow of the compiler in order to make a decision if the user key in 50?
If the user keys in 50, the first condition will be met with false because 50 is less than 80. Then after that, it brings it to the second condition, which is comparing it if it's more or equal to 40. And in this case, it's true because 50 is more than 40. Then it will display pass.
Alright, okay. So basically,
Wait, I have a question, madam.
yes.
Why after display distinction, it doesn't lead back to stop? Is that a mistake or?
Yeah, it should be stop over there. It's missing the line.
Makes sense.
Okay. Okay, so here if you look at okay, there is one arrow over there. It must be connected with the stop. Okay, and then here, if you look at properly, the score is more than 80 if true, so there's no other condition to be tested, right? So it's only for if the condition is false. False, then you go for the another condition. So when we are having the multiple alternative, it's actually like a filter. If the first filter is false, then you go to the another filter. Okay, and then if false, then you can having another one. So this kind of thing you can apply as a multiple alternative decision. Alright, okay, I'm going to explain to another type of if statement, then you can compare. Alright. Okay, so for the multiple alternative decision, we are making use of the elif. Okay, if you have additional condition to be tested, so the thing that you can add on is on the elif condition. If condition, and then the true statement, elif condition. Okay, look at on the syntax properly, having the colon, true statement for the second condition, and then else means that it's going to catch for all the condition that is not met from the previous condition, and then the statement's false. For example, here, if the score is more and equals to 80, then it's going to print distinction. Okay, there's no semicolon or anything on the syntax of Python programming. And then elif, score is more and equals to 40, print pass, else print fail. So if you want to have additional condition, for example, if a score is more than 60, right? So here you need to adding on elif score is more and equals to 60, print okay. Alright, and then elif score more and equals to 40, print pass. Is there any question?
Don't think so.
Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
And then this is what we call as multiple alternative, right? Multiple alternative decision. Other than that, we also having the nested if. Okay, nested if is if inside if. Okay, look at on the diagram. I want you to compare and make a summary, make a reflection based on this. Okay, look at properly the condition and compare to the previous one. What is the difference? One glance je.
Is it the first if it was false, it leads straight to stop because there was no display after the first if false.
Then?
Because in this is the second diagram. In the first diagram, the first if had a false and it led to a different if. There was it's the if that leads to a decision. The second diagram has an if and does not lead to another decision, right? Oh, yes, it leads to a display and then decision.
Okay, so you are looking on the false condition. Okay, how about on the true condition?
The true condition on this second diagram, the first decision has a display and then a decision. But on the first diagram, the first decision, if it was false, it led to a second decision. That's the difference, right?
Yeah. So basically, okay, thank you, Arif. Okay, so basically, when we are doing the nested if, as the definition is if inside if, okay. So when we having the condition to be tested at the first condition, okay, and then here look at under that, and then we having the true. Okay, under the true we have another condition to be tested. So basically this condition is belongs when the first condition is true, is having the prerequisite. Okay, the previous one if not true, so it's going to be like a series of filter over there. Okay, a series of filter is a false and then is go to the second filter, and then but in here if a true, then you're going to shift your decision to the right. Okay, if a true and then having another condition, this condition is based on the previous condition alternative. Okay, if the first condition is true, then you can go to the inner if, we call as a inner if. This one is outer if. Okay, the outer if, and then if a true, and then you get to reach the second if. Are you clear with that?
I'm clear.
Yes.
Alright, so when we are saying about the nested if, is having another condition inside the outer if. Alright, okay, so when we go for the syntax, okay, the first, okay, look at on the syntax over there, if condition, and then having a statement over there, and then we have another condition to be tested that is belongs to the true statement. Okay, and then having the true statement for the second condition and else statement for the second condition. And if you look at on the example, if x is more and equals to 10, So it's going to be compound statement. Yeah, compound statement is referring to the multiple line of code. Okay, based on the true statement, you have the print above 10, and then you have another statement to be tested. Okay, supposedly here, what is wrong is print should be in line with the if over there. So we know that the print is belongs to the condition of x is more and equals to 10. Okay, print above 10. And then we have another condition to be tested. X is more and equals to 20, not 40. 20, print and also above 20. Else print but not above 20. Are you clear?
Yes.
Yes. Sure?
And we can also do this like multiple times, right? Like an if inside of an if inside of an if. There is no
Yeah.
limit to how many times you can do this.
Yes. There's no limit.
I see.
Okay. Based on the knowledge that you have understand from the nested if and multiple alternative decision, what I want you to apply is using, okay, this is the equation. Okay, so create an analysis pseudocode flowchart in Python program in checking whether a number is divisible by 2 and 3. So this is the first condition. Okay, and then by 2 or 3, the second condition, and by 2 or 3 but not both. Okay, for this text that been highlighted with the yellow, okay, this is the additional features. The program can identify whether the number can be divisible by 2 or can be divisible by 3. So if you look at properly on the equation, the statement, the condition for the third condition, okay, is actually relate with the condition from the second condition. Is by 2 or 3, right? And by 3, by 2 or 3 but not both. So having to know this, extracting the information, I want you to apply the concept of nested alternative and multiple alternative. Okay, the answer that is provided inside the slide is not as what I want it to be. So it must be using the nested alternative. Okay, try to figure out, and then as usual, what you can do is you can, okay, for the analysis pseudocode and flowchart, okay, analysis and pseudocode can do using the notepad or word. Flowchart can use the draw.io, and then after you finish it, you can debug and you can code your program using the online GDB. Okay, I'm giving you about 30 minutes because this one, okay, is a tricky. Alright, so for your group, your is MEMAE. So I'm going to share the link in our meeting chat. As usual, share your answer in our Padlet. Okay, understand? Do you want me to clarify anything?
So we have to upload one flowchart, one pseudocode, and the program.
Yes. Okay, do the analysis. And then after that, do the pseudocode. After you finish that, then represent your pseudocode in a visual diagram. Okay, once you understand it and then you identify no error, then go to the Python program. The equation is this one. Okay, the program can check whether the number is divisible by 2 and 3, by 2 or 3, and by 2 or 3 but not both. Okay, additional features is the program can identify whether the number can be divisible by 2 or can be divisible by 3. Okay?
Alright.
Okay, you can try to do now.
Madam, can you hear me? Madam, can you go back?
Go back what?
To slide number 19.
This one.
Yeah. Okay. Syntax. For the line number 3, if condition. Without the spacing, but on the example there is a spacing there. So which one is the true one, madam?
Okay. The true is the without the spacing. Okay. Actually, the print over the statement ni kan, it must be in line with the if. Okay. The if over there should be shift on the left, and then the statement should be having the indentation. Okay, the correct one is on the example, but need to have the amendment over there. The print should be in line with the if, the second if.
Alright, madam, understood. Thank you.
Alright, okay, good. Okay, you can start now, yeah. Afika Amiru. Oh, this one. Christina Patricia. Christina got notified. Afika Amirun Nizam. Are you here?